Hello viewers, welcome to Dailies on TVRC. Hi, I'm Acting Vincent. And joining me on set today is
Oyedokun Adedoyin Samuel.
reading to your hearing is a Vanguard newspaper.
And with me is Punch newspaper. On the front page of Punch newspaper, teachers' children not mandated for public schools, says Akeredolu. 10 Nigerian states bigger than African countries. This is coming from Vice President Osinbajo. Police probe mysterious death of 6 Enugu residents. Again, ASU extends strike. Also on the front page of Punch, support Obi, not Atiku, Tinubu, group tells Wike. APC faults Ogun, PDP claims over 10,000 defectors. Also on the front page of Punch, police arrest bandits informants over lawmakers' family kidnap. And it's very important for me to take this one also. Tinubu not serial defector like others, says APC Vice Chairman. And let me take this one also from the world of sports. United ready to pay record 140 million euro for Osimhen report. Mr. Akintode, let's take a look at this one. ASU, they extend the strike again. We have been hoping that maybe their meeting that is held this morning will bring forth a good fruit in which that will benefit the students at large. But to our surprise, the shock and that they still extend the strike. So what's your take on that?
Well, in my opinion, I think I don't know what is actually happening. In the first place, the strike is uncalled for months now, since February till now. Then that they've been at home, and yet there've been a series of meetings that has actually yielded no result. It's uncalled for, and I hope that they will both sit down and look at and explore the options, because so many damages has been done already. Students are getting tired, and I just hope they just resolve it on time.
All right, let me just ask you the same question, on the same topic, talking about ASU. There is this comic saying that says you are doing well. Do you think federal government is doing well concerning ASU strike?
When the kids at home are misbehaving, nobody will point accusing fingers to the kids. They will point accusing fingers to the parents. But for those who want to look at the issue critically, they want to see why the kids are actually misbehaving. I'm just drawing a kind of allusion, or just making a kind of analogy as regards ASU and federal government brouhaha. ASU federal government saga face off. This face off is becoming, funny enough, the lecturers are also Nigerians.
Yes.
They are only asking for number one, they are looking for the entitlement, which is not actually at the top of the table. They are talking about funds, revitalization funds, that will help the universities to move from the level it is now to a greater height. They are also talking about they are also looking at the MOU signed by previous administrations. These are things they are actually looking, and it's not. I don't think they're asking too. It's not actually too much for the government to look into. But the point is, there are even ways to do things. You can place it on prioritize it, and let the ASU know what you can do at the moment. But you cannot they can't be asking for 5 and you only want to give them 1. It's not going to work.
Okay.
So the point is, I just hope the government, this face off is addressed on time, because a lot of damages has been done. I just hope the country will pick itself back, and let's see how it goes in the coming year.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want you to take a look at these headlines. If it is a wise saying, I don't want to use executive words here. teachers' children not mandated for public schools. Akere Delu. Do you think this is a wise say? This is a wise
Of course, I mean the governor is also human, and as a matter of fact, is not. He's saying those are not. It's just statement. Nobody should force anybody to do something that you're teaching in the public school should not warrant your kids, studying in public. Funny, we have so many public school teachers whose kids are attending very well known, well paid private schools.
What I want to ask is, why is it coming from the governor?
If you are to look into it, perhaps there must have been a discussion that that led to such a statement. It can't just be the governor wouldn't just wake up in the middle of the night and say, well, nobody. There must have been a kind of discussion where the governor must have been propelled to make such a statement. And I want to also lay credence to what he said, that nobody should force anybody. Because you are in the public sector does not mean your student, your children must be beneficiary of those. Of course, it's also that's why it's a relative statement. If you think you are in the public sector and the public sector is doing well, why not encourage your kids to attend the public schools?
Now, don't you think that this public sector, they are trying to encourage the teachers that they should bring their children to their school, in the sense that they will cut all they might slash, like maybe if you have one child coming to our school, then you pay 50% of it. Don't you think that they are encouraging? I think the governor himself should be able to encourage these public school teachers, in the sense that maybe through this they will be able to man more work. They will be able to do that. When we go to most of these public sectors, public schools, you see teachers sitting and sleeping in their what do they call it, in their teachers lodge, in the teachers room. So I think let's assume that their children are also among the students.
You need to visit some of these public schools.
Yes, I've visited
some of them are doing their job. Some of them are they are dutifully.
And if they are doing their job,
they are doing it beautifully and dutifully.
And don't you think that they will want their children to be one of the partakers of that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That is relative. Perhaps some are saying, what must have warranted such a statement in the first place? Perhaps some are asking, so people are questioning the governor that now we have a public school, we have the public schools, and maybe it cannot be survey or research that we have. There are so many children of public school teachers who cannot attend private schools, or there are private school teachers. Public school teachers whose children are attending the private schools. It's a kind of a dice. You need to read through the what's it called, what actually something must have warranted that statement.
Okay.
So, whichever way, it all depends on individual choices.
Yes.
If you think public school is where your children are going to make it, where they are going to be successful academic wise, why not? And if you think it's private school, all the same. So that's that's my own point.
Well, let me take this one last before we go into your own two headlines. I just want you to take a look at what is a senior advocate of Nigeria and also the vice president of this noble country, Osinbajo, that says that 10 Nigerian states bigger than African countries. Is it an excuse for failure on insecurity and in other aspects?
Well, don't forget that we are the most populous black all over the world. Nigeria is the most populous black. And if you've been to some African country, you definitely agree with what Prof is saying, that so many of our states are bigger. Take a look at, in short, the whole of, even the western part of Africa, where we have the likes of Ghana, we have Togo, we have Senegal, we have Ivory Coast, we have Liberia. Put them all together and look at the population of Nigeria as against those countries. You know that what Prof is saying is just absolutely correct. We are so much, but the point is, it is not just enough to say we have the number. What have we been able to do with the number? So many things, so many anomalies here and there. Insecurity is the order of the day. Internal rumbling, internal crisis, ethnic division, so many ethnic crises. What have we been able to do about it? Now, the question I would like to ask the prof is, even if we are bigger, has it been a blessing or a curse? So, it is not just enough to say we are big and that. No, the point is, what are we doing? After all, we are not up to Indonesia, we are not up to China, we are not up to. So we have so many large, and they are doing well.
Are we going up to Washington?
I mean, no, Washington is a state in the US.
Yes, I'm done. It's
just a district. No, I mean, no, US generally, US is very, it's a very.
I'm just comparing to the states.
No, you cannot, the comparison, it's a kind of a different ballgame entirely, So, but Nigeria, if we are to pick America, don't forget it's the United States of America. United States of America, with so many states, California, with so many states, New York, So the point is a different ballgame entirely.
All right, I think I've exhausted most of the latest news making itself round. Punch this morning, and we're going to find it in most of the newspaper that's been published for today. So I think let's digress to your own.
All right. ASU on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, still on ASU. ASU to continue strike after stormy NEC meeting. PDP crisis. Article at wits and as Ayu Wike dig in. This is breaking news. Court rejects federal government request to extradite Abba Kyari to US. Police nab bandits informant in Katsina. Again on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Armed youth stop free medical outreach in Habia. This is coming from the desk of NDDC. Don't set Niger Delta on fire. Southeast Elder warns Malami. Suspected cultists. Sorry, I take that again. Suspected cultists killed MC Oluomo's loyalist in Lagos. We will insist on good governance to change the fortune of Lagos. Funshaw Dorothy. And again, finally, 20 motorists to pay 100,000 fine as Classma impounds vehicle in Ikorodu, Akpongbo. Mr. Sam,
yes.
Let's take a look at this. Suspected cultists killed MC Oluomo loyalist in Lagos. Just as we are ravaging with the issue of bandits, kidnappers, and incessant bloodshed here and there. Now, some people are still priding themselves as cultists, still unleashing mayhem on themselves. What's your take on that?
My own take on that is that these days it seems that no news is a good news. It seems that all the news that are coming out these days that have been published are one majorly on insecurity in Nigeria, and I think these are some of the things that we should look into. Nobody knows what transpired between these people. Nobody knows what transpired between them. But this is a country. It's a country that has president, that has all the panels, and that has everything that it should have. I think it seems that police are not doing the best they could. They are not showing forth the quality by which they have been employed. The quality the quality of a police, or being a police, or being in a military officer. Because these things are some of these. A life lost today can never be regained back tomorrow. And I think this is one of the things that even state governors, they should look into now, because the issue of cultists is now rampant to the extent that it is now becoming an occurring decima that is no longer news that this thing is happening. Okay. And these are the things we should look into.
Okay. It's also very pertinent for me to take this news because it relates to our health in this country. Now, make health sector top priority. Cardiologist task federal government. And I would like to also ask you, do you think as regards our the health sector, do you think government are not really doing enough?
Well, the government are not really doing enough to me. As for me, the government are not doing, because if they are doing enough, I don't see any reason why the president of the whole country will fly to another countries
for medical checkup. That has become a medical tourist.
So it has become a medical tourist. So let's assume that we have this kind of a standard standardized hospital in this country. And the point is this: we have intellectual doctors in this country. We have them in masses that they travel abroad. Go and check those people that all these diagnoses, all these medical checkups they went abroad for abroad. Go and check these most of the doctors they have there. They are Africans. Most of them are Nigerians. But because they know that their future is not secured in this country, that is why they travel abroad, and those are the people. So I think that Nigerian, the president, as in the federal government, to venture more into because there is this adage that says health is wealth.
Yeah, that's true.
When there is no health, there is no wealth, because you squander all your money on that health.
Okay. Now let's take a look at this issue again. This Abba Kyari case. Now, the court rejects federal government request to extradite Abba Kyari to US. Recently, we heard about the Super Cup. Abba Kyari, how he was, got himself involved in the hush puppy case, and again after that, we also saw how he was, discussing. On the footage, he was bromancing with a drug baron, talking about drugs. But now, US want to wrap up on this hush puppy case. But this man is needed because there's a tie between hush puppy and Abba Kyari, and United States want him extradited back to they want him back in the US. They want him in the US to answer some of these questions. So, but the court is rejecting this extradition. Don't you think the Nigerian court is shooting itself in the leg?
No, yes, it's not only Nigerian court, because this is a power of incumbency in display.
Power of incumbency.
Power of incumbency. You know that if president himself could say that, okay, this is the person, because he's the first citizen of the country.
Are you saying the president is backing him up?
The president is backing him up.
No.
The reason why I said the president is backing
I wouldn't want to subscribe to that, because we need to. I don't know where you are getting your fact from. Okay.
Yes.
The reason why what I'm saying in essence is, we have the arms of the government.
Yes, I know.
The government acts in executive power.
Who is control over them all?
But hold on. But we also have the legislative arm.
Yes.
The lawmakers.
Yes.
We also have the judiciary arm.
Yes.
It is the power. Court has the power. Perhaps we could actually point accusing fingers to those the judges, the justices who are in charge of this case, who are refusing him being extradited back to the US. But not pointing it to the president most of the time is always
this man is not a suspect. That is number one. This man, he is not a suspect. And before any letter could be sent from US to the federal government of the country, through whom do you think that the letter will get from before it gets to the judiciary? Okay. It usually comes from the president, and the president had this thing that this is what happened, and this man alleged this man in question that he has, and every traces, and there are a lot of what do I call it? A lot of straight points that shows that yes, is in it. But these people, they are still okay. They want to wrap up this the case of hush puppy right now, but he is needed to be present, either to okay, yes, I'm guilty or not. But that's why I said, if the power of incumbency is not at play here, at least once he is being summoned, I think that even the country should be able to formate that person out. That's okay. You are needed. You are wanted.
All right. I think for the sake of our time, I've also exhausted what I have here on Vanguard paper. So, viewers at home, you've had it all. This is where we draw the curtain for today. Do join us next time for another exciting episode. We remain your humble host. Bye for now.
Bye.